That's the whole day long. At least it was when I was standing there. I just got out later, but I don't think so.
Okay, let's say 6:30, it's time to get the meeting started. Roll call.
Klein,
Here.
Enoch. Pujol,
Here.
Roder,
Here.
Stagg,
Here. Okay. Approve the agenda.
Motion to approve. Sorry.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Public comment time. We don't have to say other than one. Approve consent agenda items.
Motion to forget some.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Alright.
All opposed? Okay. Reports. We'll start with the sheriff.
I don't get any reports for it from us.
Okay, I have one for you. If you want to come up here and grab this.
Good.
Just something to look into possibly.
Okay.
Okay.
Or we have an agenda item. Or we have discussion here.
Oh, yes.
That's.
Okay, we have a
So,
discussion to add an extra patrol on Wednesday nights, possible.
yeah, citizens, talked to me, informed me that there are some issues starting to happen again, Wednesday nights. Specifically, with the crowd from the dance floor. So just trying to see what's going and. What do you wanna share?
I can. So we live on Central, just down from there. 2 nights, in the last 4 weeks, we've had to call the sheriff's department at least twice to 3 times to come out. There's partying going on in the lot right next to us, that is a residential lot. That I'm sure is legal to be parking in as a parking lot. There's lots of cars, lots of stuff going on. We tried to come down the road, we leave and try to come down the road. You can't even get an emergency vehicle down that road. I have lots of pictures. Of gentlemen, pass this around. And then these are just from last Wednesday night, us trying to get down the street. You assume or you good? Okay. Mike? Yeah. So this is just trying to, you'll see this is us in our vehicle.
These are all people on that
Yeah.
lot?
They're on the street. You
But
can't
they-
even
But
get
they
turned.
came from that lot or they?
They're
just
coming
took
from
it?
the lot and down the road and they're just hanging out on the streets.
This lot between you and Nick?
Yeah. No, the
No.
lot the other way, north, go north.
In Dave's lot right there, isn't it? Or it used to be Dave's, isn't it? Or it's
I don't
still,
know whose it is.
we're purchasing it.
But you don't have it yet. Dave still.
I bought it under contract. We got just a couple payments left, yeah. So it's still in Dave's name as of today.
But it is zoned residential.
You can park vehicles on a residential lot, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Are you supposed to have a house there? Any of that in the ordinance?
Not that I'm aware of.
we did, also call the sheriffs, I think within the last 2 to 4 weeks as well. Some of the issues are stemming from neighboring businesses that are catcalling and agitating our crowd, which brings them out onto the street. Specifically, air horns have been used in the last 2 to 4 weeks.
Chasing people out of parking lots. paying customers of businesses being told to leave their parking lot. There's profiling going on, there's discrimination going on. There's harassment going on. This is an ongoing problem. And we have done everything that we possibly can to be part of the solution.
And one of the solutions we've discussed, and you guys, let us know what you think, is actually shutting down Central Ave every Wednesday night. For the foreseeable future. And it's not all the way down to your property, it would just be alongside Dancemore. So basically that stop sign from Second Street
Like the.
down to the alley, yeah, just to in front of the alley, so you can still come through the alley
Oh.
with a vehicle or an emergency vehicle. But put barricades up, basically, if our property lines extended out towards the tracks, that's where you put the.
Yeah.
Roadblocks, something we've talked about, cause I think the main concern for us is just the safety. With our crowd's been averaging 350 to 450 this year, which is record highs. And you do have, obviously, in the summertime with the heat, a large crowd outside getting that fresh air because it gets up to 90, 92 in the dance hall with 350 people dancing while the sun's out. We don't have air, never have, never will. So that's part of the summer crowd is hanging out outside. And so knowing that,
Additionally, our concern is with the way that the city developed. There is absolutely no way for pedestrians to avoid meeting oncoming traffic at that corner. There's absolutely no way to avoid that. So our fear is that someone will come out the front door, even if they are being cautious, as cautious as possible and going right along the building, there is very little room for error because that street's very narrow right there. There's no sidewalk, there's really no way for pedestrians to actually be. So, that was a solution that we came up with in a lot of discussions with a lot of our customers. As well as, some of the patrol that we've spoken with each week.
I would say, I mean, I don't have a problem with them having dance floor, but I have a problem with the drinking, the carrying on, they're like partying in the park in Dave's lot, or partying along the street, it's stuff like that, and then they're just being.
have you,
There's no reason
Is-
for us to talk to them, because it's not our.
no, please
Okay.
don't, yeah.
Yeah, we try to avoid them, we try to stay away, but
Right,
I
yeah,
mean,
have you
I
called,
mean-
you said you have called the cops?
yes, we have.
Yeah, cause I've talked to
So
them
that's
too, and they'll go
reference.
down there, cause I walk down there too. Is this
So
at
I-
the beginning of the night when they're in the street? Cause I go down there and keep them off the street.
It does, who knows?
Does
We
it
take
seem
one
like-
at a time.
I haven't seen the pictures, but they don't hang out in the middle of the street, I don't allow that.
Open drinking on the street, all that kind of stuff going on. And I thought that was illegal in Swisher, stuff like on Swisher days or something like that,
Bring golf carts.
so.
Johnson County Police is the streets.
I say, I know, I did check with the sergeants, how the activity is, I know it was good for a while, and we've
It
had
was for the
reports.
winter, but it is summertime and like you said, it is hot in there, so they want out, you know, and that's what's happening.
And I did talk, one of the sergeants replied back, I didn't realize it was on the agenda until like a couple hours ago, so I sent an email out to sergeants that worked the nights. And they said they had 4 deputies ready to come into town, usually around closing time, I think that's when the people were leaving, they're tearing up near leaving,
Yeah.
like that, so. We did have 4 last Wednesday, just because we had extra people working on that Wednesday, so.
I mean, they're
I mean,
doing
So
burnout,
four were in town last Wednesday.
and I called last Wednesday trying to get home, and as you can see in these pictures. You would not have gotten emergency.
Can I see those pictures?
Yeah, a bunch of them are right there with Mike.
So when deputies are in town, do they like just sit up by there, or are they on patrol, like what are they doing?
They're technically just patrolling, but I know they do bar checks, they get on foot, and we know the
We
issue.
did a video as well of them on patrol in the lot, on the lot, walking through cars on the lot.
Well, that's
We have
fine.
video,
I'm just
no,
asking what-
we have actually video of the opposite. So we have patrol that are literally walking through all of those things at different times.
It's just like anytime any of the small towns, like Concord the town, they know it's amazing. I know growing up the same way, like, oh, Concord the town, never watch out. So I get that. That's probably what's going on. You know, phone calls are made, like, hey, back down a little bit. The cops are in town.
It's taking a half an hour to an hour for someone to get here,
Yeah, and we have.
depending on where they're at.
Yeah, sometimes when we're low, or minimums, because the summertime people take off and we have training and stuff like that, so it's hard. So just, us having 4 last Wednesday was.
We
unique,
also
so.
have it on, we have it on camera. We have a tree camera. And I can bring those in and show you as well.
The thing about it is, how's it ever gonna stop? When you're talking probably average age, probably between 16 and 26.
And I don't see any illegal activity in these pictures, but
Yeah, but.
it's not illegal to walk down the street.
Well, I'm just saying, on the average, it's probably, you know, everybody that I've ever seen out there is way younger than me. I mean.
I didn't see any beers in any of those pictures, but if it's illegal to walk down the streets, I'll let them know.
Well, it's not, but you know as well as I do, when you're freaking young like I was, you're loud, you're freaking mouthy, you're everything, like I was, I mean.
Especially when you get,
and it's-
harassed.
Well, and if you've got alcohol in you, just because they're not standing there drinking a beer doesn't mean they don't have alcohol in their system.
Do a lot too.
Exactly,
So,
that's what I'm saying.
how is this handled, since 1929?
I was born in 69, so I don't know.
So it's an ongoing problem.
It's never, the dance floor has never had the problem like it has right now. The whole
I
time.
remember Derek saying that
55
there were 1,000 people in town.
Exactly, but we
Same
never,
exact
we never
problem.
had the same problem. We never had people complaining about people out on the streets and making problems like that. The whole time, I went to the dance floor from the time I was 16 to 25, and I've never had, there was never major problem. I mean, every once in a while you get some idiot, but.
Oh, I've heard some nasty fights over the pool tables over the years and, a lot worse stuff, actually.
Yeah, a
about
relative of someone in this room actually broke the disco ball in Dancemore and was escorted out by police. So there's a long history. So why is it being targeted on us when we are trying our darndest to be part of the solution? And we have people profiling, discriminating, and harassing. They are not trying to be part of the solution. They are trying to run people out of this community. Is that the kind of community culture that you want to create, that we are fostering here?
But how would you like us to take action on that? If other businesses are harassing, profiling, discriminating, how would you like us to handle?
Mediate that. Start a conversation. Like we have parking, how does that
Come to
help
Legion, come
everybody?
to line dancing on a Wednesday night. We'll let you guys in free admission. I'm sure the Legion will let you guys in there.
And the thing is, if kids are drinking on the street, I agree, it is not your guys' fault. You guys cannot handle it. That is not your job to
Right,
police.
and we
That
have
is why
never
we-
seen drinking in the street.
The thing of it is from what I'm hearing now, there's other businesses around and stuff that are causing some issues with these people that are in town.
And
How
also
do you,
say,
how do you handle that? I mean, if, it's one thing, you know, yeah, they're drawing in crowds here and they're trying to do things that they can to try and help police it and try to keep it at a minimum disturbance. But if there's other businesses or something that's causing harassment or that kind of stuff going on and it's inciting things, we need to address that too.
Well, how could the city council address something like that? That's illegal. That's like, that's.
We have no
like-
control.
That's,
no
that's,
control.
that's something,
I have no
that's
control
something,
over
well,
whether
that's
the
something that,
bar or the Legion. or
that's
shredded
something that
shells
law
grocery store.
enforcement would have to deal with.
That's something for the police, not me.
But
not
I'm
as the
saying,
city
but I
council.
guess what I'm getting at is, this doesn't all come back to where that's an issue with these guys.
I'm not saying it's their issue. I'm just
said
trying to
that.
figure,
But that's kind of what it sounds like.
my whole thing is. Ultimately, what we can do to help is make decisions on public safety. Okay, so what I have
I
large,
agree.
large
I
issues is the burning out. I've heard that's increased recently. Whether or not we can argue that their kids are drinking or not drinking, I know the kids are drinking. I've seen it, I've seen the beer cans. As I said, that is not your guys' fault. I think what you guys have going on Wednesday is great. I think it's a great outlet for the kids. But like last year when stuff got broken, whether or not that was them or not, you know, I'm not gonna argue the semantics of it. Like, those are things that we can control. That's why we went to the extra patrol.
Right.
I don't know what the perfect solution is. I don't know if the sheriff, if there is one that night, can simply park in the Legion lot, because that would deter kids from burning out. I don't care if they,
Would also deter patrons from using an air horn to
Yes.
agitate the
I
crowd, to
agree.
get them to burn out.
I agree,
Right.
100%. Like, to me, like, on a Wednesday, if we have a sheriff in town, just have him sit in the Legion lot. Kids aren't gonna burn out on those streets. That's my
And
biggest
they
concern.
probably won't,
And
be-
I've
and they
had-
probably won't be congregating there as much either. I
Right.
mean, if you got I mean, I know how it was when I was a kid. If there was a cop, if you could see a cop, you weren't gonna be anywhere
Right.
around them. I mean, that's-
And we've had all those conversations, but obviously they're full-time. If they get a call to
Yeah.
stolen,
Yeah.
they're gone.
Yeah, I totally
We
get it.
call ourselves. When we see things, we call ourselves.
So I guess, do you guys think it would be a positive thing for the community and obviously better for safety if we did barricades on Central from the north end of our building or property line to the south end of our property line? And then residents like Angie could access Central by just going down Rose and turning east.
I would have no issue with it, and I think that might give them a little bit more of an area where when they do wanna go outside and get fresh air, it is a blocked off area for them.
It's a
And it's-
designated
And
area.
it's something that, I mean, Justin could do it, or we could simply leave 2 barricades at.
That
I'd
was my
even-
next question.
Just.
I'd even be willing to put them out.
I mean, as quick as they can go up and everything, if we left 2 at yours, I would have no issue with that. You guys throw them up at, I don't even know what time, 5 or 6, I don't know what time. it is.
6, we were supposed to write about
Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
10, 6:15.
So, I mean, I think that'd be just a quick solution. We see how it works. I'm not advocating, I mean, I guess, do you think we need a second patrol at this time? Do we need to go back to that plan?
I don't think it would hurt. It seemed like it did, took care of some of the problems, you know, where they were there. Just by the peak time, I'm sure, right?
You guys will run heavy through September, right? Typically.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just based on the weather. Yeah,
So
once
we're
school
talking about
starts and
2
it
months?
starts school down and football season and.
Really, it's just summer. I mean, it's
So I
the
don't think it'd
biggest.
be a bad
So
idea
just like
for
the
a
next
couple
2
of
months.
And it seems like too, with the,
Enforce.
when they're dedicated here, they're the ones gonna find them when they're drinking the cars. They
Right.
can walk around, they're more. You know, when a patrol car comes in, then obviously they're good, you know,
Yeah.
but if the car's there, they know it's there, it's always there. You know, they can't always watch where the deputies are, the reserves that are
Right.
working that, so that's what they're gonna find, there people with drinking inside the cars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I'll make a motion then, we don't need to keep arguing semantics and everything, and we don't, I hope that if problems don't improve in the next 2-3 weeks,
Yeah.
come back and we can keep figuring out a solution, because I do think Wednesday night is great for these kids. I just want public safety to be the biggest thing. I mean, so I'll make a motion that we, provide 2 barricades to close off Central from
The alley to
the alley to
Second Street.
Second Street, along with, implementing a second patrol, through the end of September. Does that sound good for you?
For 2.5 more.
Are you guys gonna wanna, take the barricades down, like what time does it close, 10? The dance?
the DJs leave at 10. Our crowd sticks around. We usually play music on the jukebox. Depends on the crowd. I mean, last.
I just didn't know if maybe you guys wanted to take the barricades down, like, as soon as the music's over, you know, so they can drive,
Oh,
so a lot of them can get out.
no, because that's the
There's
burn.
a lot more traffic
right now.
That's
That's
the
where the
burn.
bounce happens. So you leave those up.
Well, they're
So
not
like
doing it right
11.
in front of the dance floor though, are they?
They'll go down Central.
They've come up to the stop sign and then done it
Yeah,
off the
'cause that's where
railroad
they get
track.
fired up and then they take off.
Wanna
But I'm
make
just
the-
saying, you're only blocking it for a half
what you
a
just
block.
said, To have them responsible for moving the barricades in and out.
Yeah,
We can do that.
So,
that's why I just said to provide them with
yeah,
the barricades.
well,
They
like
can,
I said, I wanted
if
to make
it's,
sure.
if it's cleared out by 10:30, then you guys can take it down whenever you guys.
They'll come
feel it's
down
ready.
by 11.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
I think it's their responsibility, and whenever they feel comfortable, they can move those barricades.
Second. Roll. I roll.
Stag,
Aye.
Roder,
Aye.
Klein,
Aye.
Pujol,
This is just for the barricades, right?
And the sheriff.
For how long on the site?
Till the end of.
So the end of September.
Okay, aye.
2.5 months.
Is that
We'll revisit it before
your
then.
reserves again?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
That we're doing it.
yeah. And will that be in place by next Wednesday?
I think so, yeah.
Not this Wednesday.
Probably not this one. I can put it out there if you guys want to.
If you could, that'd be great.
I'll put out there and get two of them, so.
If not next Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Tim?
Yeah, mostly this month, been working on the streets and parking lots and the, sewer televising, the project that we'll be talking about a little later. Finishing up the third hour sanitary sewer project. Getting closer and closer. Other than that, there still is an issue with the collapse, storm sewer at corner of First and
Have
Road.
they, scoped that one yet?
Not yet. So, we were supposed to have been here last week, Justin said, but once we see that, we'll know what we need to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, that goes both directions, since the corner or the T collapsed.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the plan on the reseeding that you guys, that they've done all, like on all the streets that you guys have done? Because like, even some of the grass that's coming in, it looks like 80% of it's weeds.
Yeah, well. They were so far ahead on this project, like months ahead of schedule. It got to the point, I think you've heard us talk about seating windows throughout the year.
Yeah,
There's a spring seating window and there's a fall seating window.
right.
And so they were so far ahead of schedule, they completed outside of the windows, okay? So then at that point, per the DNR, you need to stabilize it. So you either put down temporary seating, which is what normally happens, and you come back in the seating window and you seat it with permanent. However, the contractor at their own risk try to put down the permanent seating, hoping it would take,
Yeah,
and then they would only have to spot seat in the seating window. So their plan is to come back in the fall and
what are they gonna do? Are they gonna hydro seed it? Are they gonna interseed it? Or what are they gonna
they're
do?
going to overseed it. They're
Okay.
talking about a drill maybe and things like that, but I don't know if that particular thing is gonna happen as far as that way of doing it.
Yeah,
But they are gonna come back and we're going to,
yeah, because it's just getting taken, all of it's getting taken over by weeds.
yeah, but the other thing is folks need to mow.
Right.
And that's the main thing. A lot of stuff is
Yeah.
just annual broadleaf stuff. You mow it, it's gone. And this is something that happened on Division. People didn't mow. It came up with a lot of weeds. And he mowed it one time and that stuff was done. So,
Yeah, I just don't want it to always look like, where you gotta patch this wide of just weeds and then it's the
I
regular,
agree.
you know how tacky
Yeah.
that looks, so.
And then also if it comes in the seating window and there are areas where it's pure weeds. And some of them aren't annual, they will have to spray that. And there
Right.
were areas, remember Mike out on Division, they did have. to
We might have to even add that in for next year's like spraying season or whatever, next spring.
I don't
No.
think you'll have to. True.
Part of this project.
And-
It'll be completed in this season when
Yeah, in September. Yeah, the project technically is supposed to be done until the end of September. That's how far ahead of schedule it.
Right.
And-
They still got a hit list, they're going around doing that. though.
They do.
And it's, you look at Third, I drove that down that this morning, I mean, that grass is growing great. And they should technically, it's 6 inches tall, they could go mow that,
Mhm.
so.
Well, this late rain didn't hurt.
Yeah, it didn't help it, or hurt it all.
Nope, didn't hurt at all.
There is one other thing that I kind of wanted to bring up just in my report. We've been reviewing, different site plans and things like that, permits that are coming through the county for the development stuff that's happening down by 965 in Division. That stuff technically is still within your annexation, review. It's starting to get to be where enough stuff is happening down there. People are certain developers are complaining because Cedar Rapids can serve them, but Cedar Rapids will not serve them because it's within your area. I just wanted to bring up a thought for you guys to consider. I've not sat down, I haven't done any math or anything like this. But enough stuff out there is beginning to happen where potentially you could consider running a sewer line out there. It's just a thought. You'd have to have at least one pump station to get it back up. But I think that the way things are developing now along Division and down at that intersection, it might be something that if the council want to consider doing that, the timing could be okay. So it's just a thought. I just want to bring it up. I'm not, no pressure.
What would be the relative scope of that project?
A lot.
You
Yeah,
want
I haven't sat down and done the math because I didn't want to take the time until I talked to you. But, you pay for it with the hookup fees. You likely could get an SRF loan just like you got for the current sanitary sewer project you did. It's just, I just want to bring it up. That's it, so.
Just to add to that real
Yeah.
quick, just as the wastewater guy, you guys have always been right on the cusp of being a grade 3 facility. If you added a decent amount more flow, there's a good chance that'll push you over the edge. You guys might become a grade 3 wastewater facility. Your plant can handle some more flow, so it's not like a big concern, like, we wouldn't want to double the flow regularly, but if we took on some more flow, it would be the end of the world. But it probably could change your permit. It could change how often we sample, depending on how much flow and stuff does come in. So just always keep that in mind too, that,
How close are
most likely the tax revenue and everything else would offset that stuff. But you should at least be aware that it will probably change your sampling and might bump you guys up a grade at some point.
how's the expansion with the new residential area gonna affect, are we gonna?
We can take it.
It can take what that's gonna bring for sure. So there's not a big concern with that. It's, again, we wouldn't want to be like looking at regularly doubling the flow, but it can handle quite a bit more flow than what we currently get. So there's no concern with that.
We did a study when we looked at that expansion plus the potential expansion of the 40 acres to the west. Hasn't happened. And you're using projected volumes there because there's not actuals yet. But hypothetically, both of those can come and then you'd be getting to the upper limits of the plan. However, if there are developments that want to hook into your town, you can financially afford it. A bird in the hand is always better than two in the bush. So if you had something that would replace the 40 acres, Fisher's 40 acres versus taking it here, then you could do that, find out what the actual flows are, then you go back, look at the plan. And like you said, you might be fine to even keep going. So just something to consider, yes.
Is this something that we could get on, maybe in a work session or something and talk about?
See a need at this point.
I don't either.
Well, I'd kind of like more information as
If
far
you're
as
talking
like,
pump station, you're talking.
I understand that, but as far as what actually is all going on out in this area, we hear a few things here and there, but we may not be privy to everything that developers are talking about and what's going on through the county. So to me, it'd be nice if we had more information with that to find out what's on the horizon. To see what kind of actions we may or may not want to take.
I mean, we could get more information, but when we say work sessions, I have not done a work session since Rebecca's been on council. I mean, that's the reality. We always say, oh, let's do a work. We haven't done a work session over 2 years.
The thing about it, even if we do a work session, if we don't have all the information, we're just gonna be sitting up here talking.
I mean, I'm fine with getting more information on it,
Right,
but on estimate costs or I don't know what more information.
but you're talking.
Well, but
if we
we're
do that,
talking where we're not gonna direct engineering to go down that
No,
path.
No, I'm not directing you.
Because we're not directing towards anything. But I would like to have more of an idea of what all's going on out here. Because it is right on our borders out here and it does have a lot to do with Swisher. And a lot of it has to do with annexations. And that kind of thing, which is coming up before too long. We're gonna have new agreements put in place. So we gotta be ahead of that, so we know what's going on when that time comes.
Well, all this land that we've been annexing in lately, was my understanding, we have never ever discussed. City sewer with any of it.
Not,
That was never, I mean,
not,
because if it was, I guarantee, you, I think almost everybody would have voted. No to it for annexing it in, because that's a lot of money.
not out here, no.
And
Out there, there's no current. That's what we're talking about right now, is being able to run sewer lines out that way.
The only thing, the last time we went through this whole annexation agreement stuff, there was discussions about the ability to serve.
Yeah,
So that's just something to keep in mind when that next round of discussions. come about.
Yep.
So
that's kind of a big thing.
thing about it, Tim, is we've got places right here in town where we don't have city sewer too, because it was too expensive to run it to it. I mean,
I know.
you know what I'm saying, you
I
know,
do.
I mean, that was early seventies when they got city sewer in here. And they didn't run it up to the hill because they would have to need a pump station, so you know what the cost is gonna be.
Right,
is-
but there's
It'd be 5
residents,
lifetimes of mine before it's ever paid.
there's residents here in town too that do not want to be hooked into the system. We've gone down that road too here just recently. So,
I just felt it was kind of my duty to you guys to kind of let you know where we were seeing. So
Thanks to,
that was all it was about.
Anybody on the?
Yeah, just to let council know, I reported to Shelley, a resident called me. Some boys walked up to the big park and were lighting off fireworks in one of the bathrooms, so.
Awesome.
When Justin gets back, we're gonna review some camera footage from Saturday, see if we can figure out.
do Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't know the exact time, I can figure it out, but it was between 4 and 6, I think so. I don't think that.
Time I was there.
They walked over, I don't think any damage was done, but it's still the principle of kids being kids. So.
Okay.
I don't have too much, just other than, and should have got, I thought I'd sent that quote sooner, but I did get the quote to you guys for those pumps for the digesters, so really, that's kind of the main thing. On my end, pretty much other than that, things are running fine. Delta came today, finally. This has been like weeks in the making, and so I finally got him here today. So he's gonna get back with me. They looked at the the dryer and all that stuff, and they'll be getting back with me on what they think is wrong, what we need to do. So anyway, yes, that took a lot of effort, and I have you're not alone. I've had 3 other projects that Delta's been closing me around with, so, but I'm finally getting some of that knocked off here, seems like, so.
Do we need a motion for this pump?
Yeah, it'd be a good idea
Yeah.
to authorize Chad to go ahead with that.
Motion to authorize Chad to purchase the pump.
Yeah, well, and just to be clear, because you're using singular, we need to get 2.
Two.
Yeah,
Okay,
Two.
so, okay, just making sure, okay.
second,
Okay.
So it's gonna be 12,000.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And after it,
Roll.
Pujol,
Aye.
Klein,
Aye.
Roder,
Aye.
Stag,
I,
where we going? Anything else for me? We do have a permit renewal, because I did just get that too, so
Mhm.
technically we got 6 months to do that. I won't take 6 months to do it, but, that's just every 5 years, we have to renew the wastewater permit. It basically just involves, I take a few extra tests, unless there's something specific that they run across any of that testing. Pretty much our permit will probably just come back the way it has in the past, similar testing, similar schedules, similar stuff, so I don't anticipate anything. Chloride's always a concern, so it's possible we could see they could possibly put us on what's called a chloride compliance schedule. We're not typically out of compliance, but since we're right on the cusp, they could give us some grief on that. I'm dealing with that at a couple other communities right now. We're right on the edge. The problem is chloride comes from the drinking water. And we don't have a city drinking water system, so therefore we don't really have any control over all the softeners and what everyone does, because that's where it all comes from. It comes from the softeners. We're dealing with this in Walford right now. So that would be the only concern I have is whether or not they kind of start hounding us on chloride a little bit, but we'll keep our fingers crossed since we've typically been below. You know, just for being down the road from Walford, they've been over 50% of the time. And you guys have been under like 95% of the time. We've always peaked over our limit a handful of times. So
What do you do if it's over? Do you just gotta treat it?
there's no treating it on the wastewater side.
Okay.
So, and that's the same complications Walford's dealing with right now. They're not a water system either, and they're trying to figure out, well, what do we do about that? So they're gonna try, you know, public education. I think we all know that's a giant waste of time, because no one will care and everyone will go, well, it's not my softener, so I care, but that's kind of that's what we'd be looking at if that came to pass, is we'd have to be looking at some public education campaigns, some stuff to try to get people to dial their softeners down. Probably won't do any good, but those are the first things we try. And at some point, you know, I don't think you'll be in a position where they require you to put in a water system, but I guess it's not impossible, who knows? So anyway, that's that, so.
Okay. Okay. I guess we're up for Johnson County.
Just one quick thing, you had, not from Chad, the council had asked, a few questions on the welcome signs that the Economic Alliance is purchasing. So I did get a proposal that one sign is, excuse me, $5,647.
And that grant was roughly with our 15, or we have 1,500 match or 3,500?
35.
And they got. How much?
Oh,
They got 5?
I think it was 5. Mhm,
Cause
mhm.
1,500 went towards the design, I think.
Right. Yep,
So we roughly need to come up with another 4 grand to get 2 signs.
Numbers are about right, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you're talking 11.
We put that on next agenda just to discuss.
Yeah.
That idea.
Yep.
I mean, if they're ordering them.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to at least have that conversation, see
Yep.
if we have funding anywhere.
Okay.
To do that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Johnson County.
All right, hey, Johnson County Treasurer, Scott Finlayson, thanks for having us. We got together earlier in the spring, we thought, you know, we'd like to go out and meet town folks that we serve more than just the urban area where we have to sit every day. And so we want to see if you had an interest in that and what frequency you'd like to see us. We've been doing this since April, May, seeing all of the other communities outside of the metro area, I'll call it. And it's been a pretty, I don't know, received well amongst the other smaller communities we've gone to. Hopefully you guys want us to come back from time to time, just think about it. We don't make a decision tonight, obviously. And we just wanted to let you know what's going on in our neck of the woods. So treasurer, I'm the guy who gets you your money so you can buy signs and pump stations and put up barricades and stuff like that.
He's the
So
guy to talk to.
there you go. Great news. I've been working with since so my history, I'm a lawyer and a banker, been with the county since who knows when. I used to work for her office, now I work for my office. I was a deputy treasurer in charge of all the finances for the county. And now I'm the guy who's elected to look at the finances for the county, along with this, I think you might know her, this wonderful one right here. Anyway, up until now, there's been a big battle. I don't understand why it took so long, but our online payment purchaser, so Iowa Tax and Tags, now has customer accounts. I don't know why it took so long to have customer accounts, but we finally had them. We've had them for about 3 months now. What's a customer account, Scott? Okay, say you're a farmer and you and your 3 cousins have, 160 acres all together, and you've got it split 3 ways, you don't know how to do that. Hey, guess what? Set up 3 customer accounts, pay your third off your customer account. You can list all those parcels, it'll always be there. You list your banking information, your credit card information, it's always in there. You can set up payment plans, you can set up to pay next March's in November, you don't have to worry about it ever again. Hey, Scott, I've got a fleet of 20 trucks. How can I handle that? Guess what? Customer accounts. You can set up your business with customer accounts, load all your trucks in there, set up a schedule to pay them also, you can dollar cost average over the years and pay for all 20 once a year. You know, obviously you have to come back in and then reset the time frame for that, but. So the big win for me was getting that set up. So really excited about that. Check it out against iowataxandtags.com. It's our online payer. And if Swisher's ever interested in like having a payment station out here, I can probably partner with, some local business, something like that, or maybe City Hall. Only probably for property taxes though, because the DOT, they're weird. They only have a DOT printer on county property or state, state agent property, so we have to have that in the county building, but property tax, I can sure come out here and do that for you. Let me know, if you want to hear a sheriff update about the jail, I'm sure he'd like us to do that, I can do it on the end if you want. I've heard it's needed, it's definitely needed, and he wants you guys to come take a tour. If you guys are looking for something to do for a work session, you wanna get out of town and do a work session, that'd be a wonderful place for you guys to go see what they're working in. I mean, they have little robots checking the cracks as they grow and to see if it's still safe to be in the building. That's how bad the jail is. He has what he calls the leak of the week. He sends a picture of the latest leak happening because everything's coming apart. And I won't even talk about the situation of not having enough housing for prisoners, but anywho, so that's me, I'm the treasurer, I'm your money guy, try to get your money as quickly as I can, I have to have 2 by the 10th of the month to try to get to you finally as fast as I can, and I'll lead it off to the auditor.
Hey, everybody, you already know me. Just a reminder, city school election is in November. If you're running, for council again, 10 signatures, nice and easy, due between August 28th and September 18th. I never recommend walking into my office at 5 PM on the very last day. If there's an issue with your paperwork, I need to be able to get a hold of you in time to fix it. So, if you need the paperwork, it's online, or you can stop by our office, we'll give you a copy. All of you have already done it before, so if you want to do it again. Other than that, we've talked before about the property tax reform bill. Make sure you keep your eyes open for that next year. It's gonna be the big one. Probably right off the bat in January when they come back to Des Moines. So I will pass on information to the cities as I hear it, but make sure you're reading what the League of Cities is sending out. They actually have something on their website that's really, really great. So the current bill was proposed at the very last minute in April. But the one that was proposed before that, the League of Cities took every town in the state and figured out with the new laws, how much money you guys would be looking at for getting for property taxes, and it's all available on the website. So a couple things have changed with the new bill, but it would give you a really good idea of if they pass this, what is Swisher looking at? Because they did run your numbers for you. So other than that, live here, if you need anything, feel free to stop by, ask me, whatever. Go for it.
I'll stand up because I'm like headed back here. Rachel Zimmerman Smith, that's okay. I'm the Johnson County attorney, so I'm the attorney for all these fine people right here. I came from the criminal side before I was county attorney, so I've been a prosecutor for most of my legal career. We have about 41 people in my office, 17 attorneys, 9 in the criminal division. I can't do the math. Let's see, 4 civil, 3 juvenile, and me. So, it's kind of like a big law firm. We have 3.5 for victim witness coordinators. In 2024, we filed, I think, just over 5,000 cases, criminal charges. 3,500 of those were indictable, and we served just over 1,000 victims of violent crime. And that's part of our statutory obligation. So we are busy. We are a very safe community, thanks to the hard work of the sheriff's office and all of our law enforcement agencies. So, but we do have still have crime. Some people don't believe that, but it's true. And the people who are in jail right now, and we have a very low jail number, but those folks need to be there. So I encourage you not to always talk about the jail, but just to check out the jail roster online and see who's actually taking up space in the jail. It's not college kids who are smoking pot. I can assure you of that. Other things my office does, we have a community violence intervention program that tries to intervene in gun violence before it starts. We have a program for people who have unpaid court debt to try to get their licenses back over time with like no minimum payment. We really want people to be lawfully licensed drivers. And so we're just a big office, and I just from here, I want people to be able to access their county government, call me if they see something that's, my office could help with, that we're not helping with. Some of the charges that we're talking about with public intox and possession of alcohol and all those things, they end up crossing my desk. So I'm really glad I was here to hear this discussion, because I'll keep my eye out for that stuff. And anything that you're seeing in your community, I hope you would always feel comfortable contacting me. Also just want to thank you for what you do, as somebody who is in elected office, who often doesn't make people happy. Somebody once told me that if I was making everybody in town happy, I probably wasn't doing my job. So I really appreciate just you being willing to serve in this role, because it's a difficult one. And just want to offer up our services, our doors are open, and I'm really glad to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty. Move on to line item eight.
Questions for Ms. Whitmore?
No?
No.
I'm staying, this is the funnest. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't.
That's just because we didn't ask any questions.
Yeah. Here.
All right, line item eight, Christier's invoice. Book 75 Howard.
Yeah, so I was presented with it. I passed it on, I believe, to the two council members who are on the project, the engineer. And so that,
This is,
just bring it to the council's attention.
this was something that was done on their own.
This is
This
in,
project is not complete. We're not done anything else, so. It is my opinion that there's absolutely no way the city is responsible, no one pay for this. Nobody from HR Green was contacted, nobody from the city was contacted, nobody from Blueprint was contacted. This was done on their own accord, and like we just told Kurt, we are not done yet, our seed window and everything else, so. There is still more to be done, but it has to be done within the right time frames. So legally, actually. So it would be my recommendation that this is not good.
Have you, discussed it with Dave at all? With Dave Schmidt, I mean, at all?
Oh, yeah, we,
Yeah, I just didn't, I didn't know how,
Dave.
I didn't know how they sat on it.
when we did the walkthrough, we stopped at their area and looked that over, what they did and everything else. So it's noted, Dave Schmidt knows it. And I do agree with Adam. We're still doing whatever's on the punch list for things that are not done yet, and that has to do with the whole project. So if we have a resident that goes in and does work in the right of ways, to me, that's on their own. That's not something.
Would all of this stuff been done on the punch list if they hadn't done it?
yes, because
Yeah.
there was erosion problems there and everything else, and they had. Corrected it, it was actually on our list. They corrected it the week before. We had it on our list to discuss, and we did a drive-through, and it's like, oh, well, they must have
Yeah.
already taken care of it.
It was like some, yeah.
It was right
Something's
away.
already done.
Spring, but
No action.
no action.
You gotta go by what you choose, so you guys are on that committee.
Okay, line item 9, request of purchase of non-open 4th Street right away. By Kim and Ed. Delego.
What's the purpose of this right away here? Do we have anything on there?
This, I'm assuming from looking at prints, if we.
This is down around the curve.
Hook road through there, that is the road to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an.
Yeah,
alley,
it's
really
not
a
an
street
alley,
right away.
it's-
Opened.
For a road,
Street.
and I would suggest against selling it, because that is our easement, that is where we can run utilities, that's where we can do. It is not,
Did they say why they wanted to,
They didn't, I just responded to the email that I received, letting them know it would be on,
down by Kathy?
it would be on the agenda for the council to consider, so.
Yeah, so this is 4th Street.
Oh, it's down on Babel. Yeah.
the first, that's,
Yeah, so we,
Right next to Babel's, right?
I talked to Ed and I talked to Shelley as well. We'd be interested in purchasing our side as well on the west side of the tracks. Ed and Kim wanna purchase on the east side of the tracks. It's just grassy space that they mow, and between me and Lindsay, we mow on the west side.
Right now it's being maintained by those residents and property owners.
I mean, for me, I don't ever see a street going.
The railroad tracks have to come out.
You would have to put a railroad crossing.
You'd have to put
Bridge,
a
yeah.
crossing there.
I mean, just for me, like, those like one of the things that I don't ever see a street going in there, so.
Mike,
I don't see a street going, yeah, Tim,
This kind of come up over the years, and I know Rebecca, when you were on council, it came up several times, especially with the alleys.
Yeah.
At that time, I just tell you that the council wanted to reserve that property for potentially future municipal utilities.
We did sell one.
That's the same way,
That was after, that happened before that
Yeah.
decision.
We did.
because that's the same way with the end of Jefferson too, right? Isn't there an easement going through there, like to
There's
hook
right
up?
away.
yeah,
There's a right of way, yeah, that's the same reason that it's owned by
These-
there's an easement through
these
there
strips and easements are
for future.
our city access for municipal utilities, basically.
right,
Oh,
It
just
just, you don't have to look at it as a future road, that's not the only thing, it's,
Do we-
this is for
Water, sewer.
water, sewer, gas communications that need to
Right.
be ran
Anything going underground,
underground.
electric.
well, there's
Have to
obviously,
come down summer, we could cut right through there.
there's,
Correct.
yeah, there's obviously a reason they had an easement there in the first place. I mean, it's probably for utilities, right?
I would assume, and you know,
Down way
in the
back in the
future,
day.
back in the day, they could have
Just
seen maybe
planned it.
putting a road through there, putting a T intersection and add a Summit influence, but as it sits now, I don't see in the next 20 years a road going in there, but that is the future for a utility path if needed.
yes.
You know, in some of those right of ways, if there was already existing utilities for everything we need, that would have been better than to vacate property, then you could retain the utility easement through there. But there's not anything in there right now, so you don't know what it would look like in the future.
In this particular space right now, there's no utility.
Not that I'm aware of.
There's
But
none in there and there's none in Jefferson either. That's just an easement for future. I mean, back in the day when they made them an easement there, it was for utilities or roads or whatever could have happened.
But if you did need to tie now the sanitary main
Right.
from Central over to Summit's main, that would be your direct path that you would do it.
And
Because that's the city property and that's where you would cut it.
for the sanitary line.
If for some reason there was a failure somewhere else and that was
Right.
people's reason.
Make a motion. Somebody, deny it.
Yeah, because they, James,
Motion to not sell, cities in.
Second.
Roll. So-
There's no money involved. Can we just do an all eye?
All then,
Okay.
opposed? All right. Number 10, resolution 2825-01.
So this is just bringing back those library employee wages that were approved at their board meeting.
Motion to approve resolution 28/2025. Hold on.
Second.
Roll call.
Klein,
Aye.
Pujol, Roder,
Alright,
Stag.
Aye. Go ahead, item 11, 2025 sewer maintenance project.
Have a night.
Thank you.
thank you.
we took quotes this morning for the televising of Region 5 of the sewer maintenance project. We received 4 quotes. The lowest possible bid quote we received was $10,608.40 from Vision Sewer out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That was approximately 26% below our engineer's opinion of total cost. Wow. So we recommend that, you guys accept that quote over.
10,006.
How many feet is that, or is that? Wow. That was.
Is the TV, we're gonna be doing about 31, almost 3200 feet.
What did we budget for that? For television?
It was 13,000 or 14,000.
13 or 14, and
Yeah.
This is coming at 10 something?
10-6, 8-6.
Motion to approve, vision, or award quote to Visu Sewer.
Approve that resolution.
Approve resolution 29/2020.
Second.
Now we're down to 13. Oh, roll call.
Pujol,
Aye.
Roder,
Aye.
Stag,
Aye.
Klein,
Aye.
Resolution 30/2020, 2025.
Motion to approve resolution 30/2025.
Second.
Okay. Roll.
Roder,
Aye.
Stag. Pujol,
Aye.
Stag,
Aye.
Klein,
Aye.
Good. So, number 14. Ordinance 19/2025. Third reading of ordinance amending city's code. Chapter 106-08. Election fees.
Motion to place ordinance 19/2025 on its final reading.
Second.
Roll call.
Stag,
Aye.
Klein,
Aye.
Roder,
Aye.
Pujol.
15. Liens for unpaid utility accounts.
Yeah, so I need the council's approval to place these. There have been a couple of them that have been paid. And then I know we have to give a 30-day notice, so that's what these letters were. So if anything obviously is paid before the 30, that also will not be liened. So I just, asked the council to approve
You said two of these have been satisfied or?
so far. That doesn't mean, I mean, there could be more coming in yet.
Cause they got 30 days. right?
Correct.
So there's only 4 total, right? Or is it 5?
4, 2, 5, 3, 4,
It's four.
5.
Five, there is.
Yeah, 5. Mhm. So sending the letter helped.
Motion to improve, put liens on after the 30-day.
Second.
Those that do not pay.
Thanks.
I will second.
All in favor, it's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 16. Who wants to handle that one? Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, maybe.
Opposed?
Told you, it's gonna get really boring.
There's an open seat here.
Maybe
not.
do the complaint section, it's boring.
Oh, I can give you this seat if you.
So show the property down on the.
Let's get us off first. Just want to set those there. Thank you. Julie?
Julie.
What?
Julie.
There's a stop at the top, right where you push play, there's a stop next to it.
I think they got her signature on something.